What's up, guys? Owen Finch is here for a video today, not Freddy Krueger. He invaded my YouTube channel, and I'm gonna have a serious talk with him about that. Now, I want to talk about SpongeBob. I haven't done a SpongeBob review in a while. The last one I did was the I Was a Teenage Gary episode. Check that out. It was when SpongeBob, Squidward, and well, it was SpongeBob and Squidward all turned into snails, so check that out. But first, before I give the review, I want to give my thoughts on something about people are talking how SpongeBob's ending this year, and I'm not exactly too sure if that's happening or not. I haven't I've heard stuff about that, like it's being canceled this year. I think because like some people are saying because the guy who played SpongeBob died, because it's getting old, so it's canceled. Here's my thoughts. I read somewhere that they tweeted that it was just a rumor that they're gonna make new episodes and it's gonna finally end in 2015, and they're gonna like make one final movie about SpongeBob. That's what I read. I'm not sure if that so. I think that one might be more true because they're the ones that tweeted about it. So I don't think SpongeBob's ending this year anytime soon. But let's get back to the series I'm talking about. We got season 1. I don't even know what episode this is. It's episode. I don't even know. Okay, I gotta count these. I believe this is episode 28. This was the last one of 1999. This was the last. I don't know if this was the last cartoon of the 90s, like the last episode of a cartoon, but this was the last SpongeBob episode of the 90s. This episode came out, what do you know, on December 31st, 1999. So it came out on New Year's Eve. And it's called SB-129. And you even have like the credits of like the beginning, so like the space and like there's like this like robot talking, and it says SP-129. It's actually pretty cool, and they go out like this robot stuff. This is flat. It doesn't taste that bad. So it starts out with the narrator talking. It's like, Saturday morning. Beautiful Saturday morning. Squidwards are gonna entertain us by playing this clarinet solo. Then then the narrator says, "Everybody, get your earplugs out ready." It was actually pretty funny. So then Squidward's getting ready to play his clarinet, and as this is doing it, we see SpongeBob sleeping and his clock's ticking, and he's slowly putting it to his mouth. And SpongeBob alarms goes off, and Squidward's clarinet goes in his mouth, and he ends up like kind of choking on it. And then oh fuck, I think I screwed up. Then SpongeBob's like, "Hey Squidward, you want to go jellyfishing?" And Squidward can't really say anything because his clarinet's in his mouth, so he just gets all pissed, and you don't know what he's saying. So SpongeBob's like, "Okay, we'll be over there in a few minutes or something." So then Squidward chokes it, finally gets his clarinet out of his mouth, and then somebody knocks on his door. It's SpongeBob and Patrick. They have the jellyfish nets ready for him to get they have his jellyfish nets ready for him to go jellyfishing, obviously. So then Sponge was like, "Ready to go?" And Squid was like, "No, I'm not ready to go." And then Pat's like, "He doesn't want to play with us." And Sponge was like, "Oh no, Pat's like, he's just not ready." So then they knock on the door and he's like, ready now? No. And Squidward's trying to play his clarinet as he's doing this. And then eventually they go, ready now? No. And Squidward will continue opening his door going, no, 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 no. And then they're not there anymore, but he's still slamming his door going, no. And I guess they have gone in the back door. And they come back behind him and poke him. And SpongeBob's like, what? And he's like, ready now? No. And then he's like, no, I'm not ready. I'll never be ready. Understand that? And SpongeBob's like, oh, of course we understand that, Squidward. And then Squidward just slits the door and leaves his house. And he's like, wait, that's my house. Why are they in my house? So then he knocks on the door. They open it. And then they're like, ready? He's like, out. Oh. And then Squidward's like, shouldn't you be at work today, SpongeBob? And SpongeBob's like, oh, I'd love to be at work. But it's Sunday. Oh, Sunday, not Saturday. My bad. The Krusty Krab is closed. And then he's like, wait, just right there. I'll be right out. So then he closes the door and SpongeBob and Patrick are in front of his house and he's tiptoeing behind him. And then he gets to the Krusty Krab, and I guess Mr. Krabs just leaves it unlocked for some reason, because he doesn't like lock it enough, and Squidward didn't have to get out a key or nothing, so he just, gonna leave the Krusty Krab unlocked. Fucking idiot. So then Squidward's about to play his clarinet there, but SpongeBob and Patrick come into the Krusty Krab because he asked them about the Krusty Krab, so I guess, I would assume that he would be there. So then Squidward runs and hides in the freezer, and then SpongeBob's like, well, I guess he's not here. I bet he's already down at Jellyfish Fields. So then Squidward the freezer had locked behind Squidward, so he can't get out. So then he's like, I'm sure someone will come for me in no time. And then we see this thing that says 2,000 years later. So Squidward had gone forward in time 2,000 years. It's 1999. I added it up. I think it was like 39.99. That was the year. So yeah. So then Squidward's frozen, and the freezer door falls, and we see SpongeBob flying like on a jetpack because his feet are gone. So then he's like, holy fish paste, a frozen sliver apart. So then SpongeBob grabs a hammer, and I was thinking this is gonna take a while, but the hammer is there's like a laser inside the hammer. I don't know if this is like it's like a laser hammer. So then he's able to get Squidward out. He actually burns his ass, and then Squidward's unfrozen. He's like, SpongeBob, and he's like, SpongeBob, who's SpongeBob? And then we find out he's a robot. He's like, I am SpongeTron. So then Squidward's like, and then SpongeTron's like, welcome to the future. And he's like, huh? The future. So then Squidward sees that everything's cloned, so that means everything's all nice and designed. And he's like, why is everything cloned? Everything's always cloned in the future. And Squidward's like, he's lying. And then he looks out the window, he sees everything's cloned, and then a flower grows. So then this guy in a truck comes in with like a spray that clones things, a clone sprayer, and he sprays that, and that gets cloned, and then he leaves. So I'm assuming they have like hidden cameras or something, so that way they know when the flowers are gonna grow and stuff. So yeah, so I'm assuming they have it every second too. So because every flower I think grows every second probably. And he's like, he's right. Then he's like, of course I'm right, Squidward. Ask my friend SpongeBob X, Y, and Z. And then Squidward's like, are there other letters of the alphabet involved here? Then he's like, oh sure, all 400 and I think he said 86, so there's 486 letters of the alphabet instead of 26. So I think it's like 26. So I guess they added a lot more letters to the alphabet. And then Squidward gets down and says future, and he's doing like hands up, and I guess he can't believe that he's in the future. Future, and then SpongeBob pulls his tie, and then a brick comes over his head, and it drops on Squidward, and he's like, thanks. I don't know if this was the part when Patron came. So then he's like, hi, Patron, and he's like, because Squidward's like, oh, I don't belong here. We gotta do something. He's like, jellyfishing. So then they're like, jellyfishing. And then Pat's like, Patrick, and he has like two heads, comes and says, did somebody say jellyfishing? And he's like, and then he found out that Patrick's name's Patron. So then, yeah, that's cool. Oh my gosh, my phone's being a piece of shit. I probably shouldn't be texting while I'm making a video, but who cares the fuck. But yeah, so then Squidward wants to get back to his own time period. So then they explain that there's a time machine, and he said it's over to the left, and he goes to the door on the left, and it's the can opener. And he comes out, and he's all open like a can would be. He's all shredded. So I'm wondering how big are cans there? Either that, or are cans just really small and they're too lazy to open them themselves. So then it's the door on the right. He goes in the time machine, and he's like, oh, I certainly would have chosen a different interior. So he's like, so if because he wants to get rid of SpongeBob. So he's like, if SpongeBob existed in the future, then I better go to the past. So then he goes to the past, they're all waving bye to him. He gets to the past, and obviously the past is the past. It's like cavemen, all that stuff. I don't think there's any dinosaurs down there. It was just cavemen and a bunch of weird lizard stuff. And there was like this little worm thing that almost bumped into Squidward, and he's like, I guess this was before manners were invented. And he's like, at least there's no SpongeBob and Patrick. And then you see these two guys creeping around. Obviously, it's SpongeBob and Patrick. They're just creeping around. You see Patrick in like a tiny walk this time, and SpongeBob's creeping around, and he finally gets to like a bed of seaweed. And then he hears somebody chewing on something, and it's SpongeBob. It's past SpongeBob, and he's chewing on a piece of coil. And SpongeBob ends up finds him, and he like gets one of Squidward's ink blobs, I think, and asks if he wants it. We see Patrick come with like a big breath, and he has like big giant teeth. So then SpongeBob and Patrick are fooling around with Squidward. Patrick's tasting stuff. SpongeBob's playing with his arm. He's like, and then we see like a little jellyfish come, and they're all scared of it. And SpongeBob's like, I'm gonna go over there, okay? And Squidward's like, okay, I'll be over there if you need me. And then Squidward's trying to play his clarinet, but SpongeBob and Patrick are standing themselves with the jellyfish. And Squidward's like, what are you doing? You're supposed to catch these things, not torture yourself with them. And then they have like these cloths where their dicks are supposed to be. Probably to cover up their dicks. Because, it's a PG show. I don't even think you're allowed to see dicks anyways on a TV show. But I don't know. So then they rip off their cloths, give them to Squidward. He makes jellyfish nets out of them. He finds like this stick somewhere. And he shows them, and they put them on the mouth, go, no. And then Squidward's like, no, you're supposed to catch them like this. And he catches one of the jellyfish, and he's like, it's called jellyfishing. And then they start going to jellyfish, and then Squidward plays his clarinet. That hurts their ears, because Squidward can't play a clarinet. He sucks. So then SpongeBob and Patrick chase Squidward back to the time machine, and back to the and Squidward goes in the time machine. He leaves. He's like, get me out of here, and he accidentally breaks the time machine, and the time machine starts to like melt and stuff. And then because like these pictures are going up, like when you play that gambling game when you try to win money, and then like these picture things that come up, you have to try to get all the same picture. I don't know what it's called, but I think you know what I'm talking about. And one of them's lemon ball, and the thing just says loser. So then Squidward gets taken to like this blank thing. It looks like you would see on a computer screen back in the old days. Because I wasn't alive in 1999. So then there's like these little windows that are yellow red, and Squidward lifts one of them up, and he's like, "No, I'm all alone. No more SpongeBob. No more anything." He's like, "I finally found a place where I can be all," and then you hit alone, and then like a big word bubble comes up that says alone, and then a bunch of people are like alone, 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 and you hear all these people, and it like zooms up, out, and with all of them saying it, it was like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here," because Squidward, I guess, heard the voices and didn't like what he heard. So then Squidward's running, and he keeps running in like the same spot. He's like, "Where's the time machine? Where's anything? Where?" And he starts jumping. He's like, "Where?" And then the floor breaks, and he ends up going with the time machine back inside the time machine. And he's like, "I want to go home. I 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 miss my Easter Island. I miss Bikini Bottom. I miss my Easter Island head. I even miss SpongeBob." And then the time machine finally takes him home. I guess he had to admit that he missed SpongeBob, and that brought him home. And he's like, "SpongeBob, Patrick." And he tells him everything that's been going on. He's like, "You just don't know how happy I am to see you guys." And then they both say, "Does this mean you want to go jellyfishing?" And Squidward's like, "No, no. Who's the barnacle head who invented that game anyway?" And they both say, "You are, Squidward." And then, because I guess since he invented it in the past, that changed the timeline to make it seem like he invented it. So then Squidward's like, "I'm going back," and I guess he's gonna make sure that jellyfishing was never invented. I guess he never did that because they still jellyfish. So that's pretty much it for this episode. Is this my favorite? I would still say it's still the pizza delivery episode, but I did like this episode. I like the fact that they brought the future. They tried something new. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll be back with another review. I don't know, maybe Freddy Krueger might come on this channel too and make a Nightmare on Elm Street review again. He's such an egomaniac. He wants to talk about his own movies. I can't say I blame him. If I was talking about my movie, if I had made a movie, I would certainly talk about it. If you guys don't know, I'm Owen Wilson now. I'm gonna call myself Owen Wilson. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this review. I'll be back to do another one soon. Peace out. Oh, and by the way, before I actually leave, click on all the stuff down below, the CM Live Reactions, Wrestling 1444, this channel, obviously, and CM Brothers. There's going to be tons of videos there. You can also add people as a friend on Facebook, Owen Piddledinch, which I don't know the password to, by the way, but I'm going to get the password, and email, because I don't remember my account. So Owen Piddledinch, Owen Pinch, Owen Finch, and Adam Finch. So you can add those things on Facebook, and you can also follow Owen Finch on Owen the Birdman on Twitter. That's down below too. But that's pretty much it, guys. Peace out.